acceleration. The cars they're scrabbling for grip. One tyre gripping slightly more than the other and just pulls the car one way then the other. It should level itself out in the space of half a lap, but for Rademacher, it's taking a bit longer.
Very focusing half a lap as the car tries to steer from the rear with hot rears and cold fronts. Menu, Muller. Very, very dirty, that Vauxhall.
It is. It's not comfortable. A car that's set up to be slightly oversteery in normal race conditions, when you put an imbalance of hot, cold tyres, it does make it focusing for that half lap or so.
Now we're on board with Muller. We're just passing Norden in the Class B Nissan, coming across the start-finish line. Now we've got Old Hall Corner next, the first corner after the pit straight. Very tight, tricky old bend, and then they go down Cascades, and it's all blind, and it's not a place to be blind when you've got poor old Mark Lemmer with these nasty Class A boys again.
Well, I don't know what Mark Lemmer's thoughts must be, but he just must say, please guys, I'm getting out of your way, but don't drive into me once again.
Oh, did you see that with a Van Muller? Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. How did he do that? Somehow slid past Lemmer, and in doing so, moves himself past Alain Menu as well.
There's an example of how to read an overtaking situation. Muller, the opportunist, Menu just overran in the back of Lemmer, and that was the only opportunity that Muller needed. Through he went, job done.
Collard now being passed by this same group. Muller, let's see if he can capitalise on that. He's moving up to James Kay now, the lead Class B runner. There's Anthony Reid. He is yet to pit. You can see that because he's still got the yellow stripe under his name on the window. Remember that as a reminder. Once they've pitted, they take that strip off so we know where they're up to. And you guessed it, it's Matt Neal chasing him. Dude, this is a marriage made in heaven, these two. Matt Neal and Anthony Reid welded together. I think they have to share a car home. Now, meantime, our race leader is Tom Christensen, and he's very much on his own watty.
And he still hasn't made that pit stop. That sticker in the window says, I'm still on my original set of tyres. But he's got no need to make a pit stop. He can choose the opportunity when he wants.
Alain Menu think to himself, will someone get these Vauxhalls out of my hair? This is driving me mad. Muller's ahead of him and has just got past him. Rademacher is now behind him, and now Rademacher is darting from one side to the other. I've got hot tyres, says Vincent. I want to play two now. Menu having to cover. He is not having an easy time with this. He did start off the back of the grid, but his progress has been slowed.
Yeah, it was a very strong start indeed. Looked purposeful, but he still only managed to get up into the bottom half of the top 10. And all of a sudden, both Vauxhall drivers are looking very menacing. A scalp, Alain Menu's. Wouldn't that be nice for Rademacher?
Vincent Rademacher really with his tail up now. On a charge, Menu having to defend, Menu moving to the inside of the track, Rademacher having a look down the inside, locks him up, just kidding Alain, sorry.
Well, I tell you what, Menu was cute as a wagon load of monkeys. He tempted Rademacher to make that pass, then shut the door. Rademacher locked the brakes up mightily, probably flat spotted his tyres in the meantime.
Back on board with Matt Neal.
Yeah, James, you've got Matt Neal just exited the pit now again on cold tyres.
Well, there's the word from the pits. Thompson is coming up, and he knows. He's been told that Neal's just coming out on cold tyres. There's Tomo, there's Neal.
He's got three corners basically to get the job done. Into Cascades, down the short straight into the island hairpin bend, and then from there down the rush, down into the chicane. Now, Thompson, look at the acceleration of the Honda. That's horsepower and drive off the corner.
Okay, Prey and Predator. James Thompson, so much grip, he's going to drive around the outside. Matt Neal thinks, I don't think so, I'm going to hold the inside line. Tyres heating up all the time over the crest of the hill. There's a nasty chicane called Knickerbrook at the bottom. This is going to end in tears. Matt Neal defends. James trying to find a red on the outside. Kissing wing mirrors. Just holds him off.
Well done, Matt. That was good driving. You were courageous. You were purposeful. You did the right thing at the right time.
It does look menacing, the front of that. I think it's the paint job on those Hondas. That and the headlights makes them look absolutely terrifying, like some big ray trying to bite us. Now here's our race leader, Christensen, into the pits.
Watch your pit lane speed limit, Tom. We need a big push in this pit lane. Watch the limiter.
40 miles an hour on the pit lane, down to the Honda pits right at the end of the pit lane. Christensen pits late, drives the car, comes to a standstill, the car goes up again. Look at the height of the front of the car. Wheels on, clock stops, 6 seconds exactly. Quick enough, and the team didn't put themselves under pressure in the process.
Tom, push. Plato's coming up behind you. Don't let him through. Push hard, push hard. Plato's P2, holding.
Christensen's race engineer vying for my job as commentator, explaining to us in no uncertain terms that Plato was bearing down on him, and there we can see it. Christensen ahead of us, Plato behind, but that indicator isn't saying pass me, is it?
No, that's a dummy. I think he's trying to confuse Jason Plato, probably as much as we're confused. But look at the advantage, Christensen. Oh, he locks it up, but can Plato cut back?
That was as close as you like. Those tyres are cold. Plato now, can he do it? Side by side and now trying to get a tow over the hill, twitching all over the place from Christensen's car. Like you said, cold tyres make it unmanageable, but still enough drive for that Honda to just pull out an advantage. This is an important part. Cold tyres won't make this Knickerbrook chicane easy, but he missed his moment.
Well, it just looked like Christensen, for the first time this race, was under pressure from Plato into the hairpin bend, but he's got it back, he's in control, and pulling away from Plato.
That's Mark Norden taking to the grass and then pulling off. Obviously some sort of a problem. But look at that, look at the oil line he's draped. Just huge puddle of oil trailing off that car. That's into the hairpin.
And look at that, there's somebody who's had the problem, exactly the very problem we've seen. That oil slick that went down has caught out Jason Plato as well as one of the Hondas ahead of him.
Yeah, that was a very big moment for Plato. Very, very quick down through there. Now, these guys are coming up on the same oil. That's Matt Neal ahead of us and James Thompson. Matt's been caught out as well. Matt's run deep. James has obviously seen a different line and tucked back through. Neal's recovered side by side, and that's Ricard Rydell in the Ford. He is pulling off as well. Unrelated, I assume.
Yeah, Rydell's pulled off. He's come off at Cascade. He's taken the short loop down at the chicane, but his day's work's over now as well.
James Thompson has really made up a lot of time on Matt Neal. Matt getting caught out by that oil spill from Norden's car down in the hairpin. Climb back up the hill. Oil should be off the tyres by now. I assume this part of the track is clean. There's our race leader, Tom Christensen. I guess everybody will be on the radios warning everybody else about the oil. Talk about oil, look at the back of Christensen's car. He's turned on a 007 smoke screen. Big problems.
Yeah, there's oil smoke. Now that smoke looks to me as if it's oil dripping onto the exhaust system rather than an engine problem. We need to have a little look and see precisely. Well, lots of it coming out, and if that's oil in the exhaust, it'll be going on the racetrack as well.
This is an absolute nightmare for Christensen. He's our race leader. He's got such a good position. Now, that's looking back from Matt Neal's car. Matt Neal has hit the oil for the second time, and he's off.
And Matt Neal's not only off, he's on the original Oulton Park circuit, all the way down to the hairpin bend, which is miles away.
That's a very long line. Now he's off the track, doing some grass cutting. Drives back across the track. Now he's doing more grass cutting. Now he's going to get bogged. He'll refuse the water jump next at this rate. Okay, now here's Tom Christensen, meantime, back at the front in this oil. This is terrible. He's leading from Plato. This is his win is within grasp here, and yet at the same time, this looks like a really big problem.
And he's laying huge black stripes all around the Oulton Park circuit, and that's oil. Has he got enough remaining in the car to finish this race?
Well, there's Mark Norden. He's got a good view from down at the bottom of the track, as has Ricard Rydell. Both of them broken down. Mark Norden will be seeing everybody sliding on the oil. I guess his engine let go, and this guy is laying plenty of oil of his own. Won't be able to see him soon to see whether they can pass him. Now, where's the gap? He's only got this lap. He's on the last lap. Has he got enough to hang on?
I think he's going to make it all right, but the big worry I would have had for Tom Christensen is that he might have got on to the penultimate lap and then been flagged off because he's putting so much oil down on this circuit.
Well, you can only hope that most of it's burning off before it hits the track, but that is a hell of a lot of oil. Only a couple of corners left, and it looks as though he's buttoning it off, just taking it nice and gently, coasting it home.
Yes, he's decided. He knows he's got the message. You can see the oil, the way it's slicked onto the boot lid of the car. It's gone from white to almost black.
And he's got his headlights ablaze. He knows he can push it home from here. That's the last corner. Down Deer Leap, up and over the other side, and Tom Christensen is going to take his first BTCC win.
Well done, Tom. Good win for Denmark.
And the team well pleased. Good on you, Sunshine.
Yes. Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic indeed. Great result for Honda and a great result for Tom Christensen. His first ever BTCC win. Bearing in mind he's had mechanical problems dogging him for much of the season, but not today. Pole position man and our race winner. Jason Plato really threatening all the way through. Anthony Reid, a good solid drive from him in the points again. James Thompson, fourth position, and Ivan Muller rounds out the top five. They were in the thick of it, those two. Thanks for the action, boys. Menu makes it up to 6, then Rademacher, Tarquini, Neal and Kay in Class B rounds out the 10. Christensen lets off some steam and then remembers who's paying his wages. But what about the last few laps?
I mean, what can you do at that time? It's just going flat out. Then I couldn't relax anymore. It was just basically to go flat out through the corners, but then short shift. If it was an oil leak or exhaust, I didn't know exactly what it was. Obviously, I